also that Fresh Free Fly has been pulling, although he's not actually been farming as well recently, and if that continues to drop, then it could be less of an issue for the Hellborn than it might otherwise be. We can see a TP top from Pyromancer, so we've got the classic Pyromancer Magnus combination up top, pressing for a kill, and Plague-Rider TP's in as well, so possible that they're looking to push this tower, maybe to pick up a kill on Forsaken Archer, I'm not entirely sure. Mind you, that said, is it Pimp? I'm not quite sure. He's obviously well aware of the danger, backing off a bit. Bot lane here, Zephyr's pushed up very closely towards the tower. Fresh Free Fly goes on him, but Zephyr pulls a blind gust. I'm not sure. I can't believe he knew Fresh Free Fly was there, but it's very well done to gust him away like that before he can even initiate. So well played there by Kabapo on Zephyr, saving himself a potentially sticky situation before it even occurred. There doesn't seem much happening right. That doesn't make for great casting, does it? The creeps are pushed up fairly well towards the Hellborn's tower up top. I'm not quite sure what they're going to be doing about that. I mean, there's obviously Magnus and Plague-Rider there who might be looking to push. And let's see, a TP goes out mid. That's presumably just mainly to farm by Uber Magix. Uber Magix isn't doing terribly well this game. He's 0-2 and 3, so obviously he might well be looking to improve on that by picking up on his creep kills. Although, to be fair, he has got 61, so I'm not entirely sure why he'd particularly want to do that. But the only person who hasn't farmed, people who haven't farmed particularly well, are Ductor and Dream Rage. Obviously, Ductor sitting Fresh Free Fly, who's done fantastically well, so that's understandable. And Dream Rage has been trying to feed the creep kills for Forsaken Archer, but obviously they have kind of lost that lane, so that's not a huge problem. And Rexy picks up a kill on Uber Magic, so successful Pyro stun combo there in the middle, obviously, which I failed to notice utterly. I'm very sorry about that. And we can see a ping up from Magmus here in the top side, so potentially some action on, I think it's just, no, it is Blacksmith and Forsaken Archer. That Blacksmith illusion was slightly misleading, but I'm not sure. To be honest, Magnus and Plague-Rider is not a terribly offensive combination. I mean, it doesn't have the same oomph. However, they're going in anyway. Magnus goes in, stunned out of his steam bath by Forsaken Archer, and the Plague-Rider ult goes off. There's no more bounces to Blacksmith though. Very, very quick spreading by Forsaken Archer means that Blacksmith's out of hot water. On the other hand, Zephyr coming in, uses his gust but misses both heroes. That's fairly fortunate for Pyromancer. However, a what is it called, volley comes out from Forsaken Archer, catches Rexy. Magnus goes in and ults. He's not interrupted, but he's killed. So obviously his ultimate's not quite as effective as it could have otherwise been. Polywog Priest comes in to try and clean up, but he's not able to pick up any kills. And Overpowers now essentially rendered this teamfight a lost cause for the Legion. Kills, or almost kills, Polywog Priest. Fresh Free Fly comes in, manages to kill Overpower, but now I think Kabapo is likely to pick up a kill on him unless something goes horribly wrong. And that's not a genocide because Ductor's alive, but still 4 kills for 1 for the Hellborn, so obviously they'll be doing very nicely out of that, thanks all the same. And quite happy there, knowing that they've got a solid advantage in late game as things currently stand. However, as I've mentioned before, their carries are not the best farmed, so obviously this does have the potential to go wrong for them if they allow the match to drag out too much. They might be looking to get... oh no, TP's middle. Slither's a bit overextended, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything about it. They've got both Magnus and Pyromancer in the middle, but not looking to do anything, and the Slither ward's actually dropping Magnus to half life because he's tanking him too much, so I think Uber Magic is probably well clear of the danger there. Slither there doing a spell of counter warding. That's a fairly commonly used creep spot, ward spot, truth be told. Gives you a good idea of if someone's coming around the back of this tower if you're trying to defend it, and also lets you know if someone's jacking your ancient. Additionally, if you're a carry like Fresh Free Fly trying to farm up the agents, it gives you a warning of incoming ganks. So a useful ward to have taken out, all things told, since it gives them the opportunity to farm better attacks on this tower, and also obviously they might be able to catch the Corrupted Disciple while he's trying to farm. Now Slither pushing this middle tower might be denied from Magnus, and he messes it up, so Uber Magic's picking up that tower kill. Well played by him, but also poorly executed by Magnus to give him that, of course. Still no clear advantage between these teams. There's a slight XP advantage for the Hellborn, as well as a slight, and I say this in inverted commas here, gold advantage since it's only 500, which is almost negligible. And a couple of heroes on bottom lane. They might be looking to set something up here on these two heroes, having obviously just pushed this tower, Trixie and Rexy. It's really very confusing where they've got similar names. I wish they'd stop doing that and they just farm this Polywog. Oh, top lane. Magnus tries to use an invisibility rune to save himself from the Zephyr and Forsaken Archer combo, is completely unfair. Now bottom lane, what is it? Let's see. Pyromancer manages to land a successful stun combination on Zephyr, and Zephyr is so much toast. I've never found out what a fried snake tastes like, but I'm sure Uber Magics can tell me now. Hellborn successfully taking this top tower. Nobody on the Legion team around to stop them, because obviously they've just killed the unfortunate occupant of that thing, K. So Hellborn slightly extending their gold advantage there. Now, taking a quick look at the items and everybody, Zephyr's picked up a Beast Heart as part of his, I assume it's a Health Black Legion, but I'm not sure, it could be a Behemoth's Heart, Behemoth's Heart even. And he's got those phase boots and what's it called, Shaman's Headdress. Obviously that's a fairly good farm on him. It's working out at around, I'm trying to read this, I'm not used to this. It's working out at around 250 gold, which is not brilliant, but it's not bad. I mean, he is known as the melee version of Soul Stealer, so it could obviously be higher, but it's not saying no to. Overpower's still doing very well. He's picked up his Icon of the Goddess as a precursor, I would presume, to his Sackstone, and he's still running at over 300 gold minutes, so doing very well indeed for support. Slither building towards Gnome's Wisdom. Obviously this is the pre-nerf version of Gnome's Wisdom, so that's not an insane item build choice it would be now. Pimping on Forsaken Archer, not really holding any items, but he's over 200 gold minute and he has got 1,500 gold saved up, so I would guess he's building towards something. Action here on middle, Trixie manages to get a trap off on Slither, and now Magma's coming in to seal the deal. However, Blacksmith's obviously managed to kill him. Overpower coming in, lands a tar. I'm not quite sure what was that. I think the Hellborn are going to back off before those Poliwhirl wards do them any. And now taking a look at the items on Legion, Fresh Reflies almost finishes Frostburn even. Just about to finish the Icebrand component of that. Magma's presumably building towards his portal key, around 500 gold away. Ductor's got nothing except plated grease, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously he's a support, his job is to ward, not necessarily to build up and carry. And Pyromancer's got a bottle and a glowstone, which is obviously a useful way of extending his life and mana. And Hellborn pick up that tower kill on the bottom, since Legion aren't particularly able to. Now obviously Case having a good try though, uses his ultimate. Plague Rider uses his ultimate. Hellborn caught out of position here, but there's a creep wave around, so they're going to get away with this. And now Overpower looking to finish off Ductor, but I think Fresh Refly is going to make him pay for that. I think, yes, Zephyr saves Overpower with a gust, and now it's a one-on-one between Fresh Refly and Zephyr, which I'm not fancying Zephyr for, to be perfectly honest with you. However, Dream Rage comes in, picks up a kill on Ductor, and Trixie comes in. This is all terribly confusing. Zephyr's still around, I'm not quite sure what he's doing there. Overpower's died, so yeah, Zephyr hightailing it out of there before he's introduced to the unpleasant effects of Corrupted Conduit and Electric Tide, which would end badly for him, considering that Fresh Refly has Trixie around to hold him still while he beats the hell out of him. Now Pyromancer potentially being ganked here. Kabapo comes in looking to get a gust off. Pyromancer doesn't have any mana to, yes he does have mana to stun with, so obviously he could be able to do a well-timed stun juke here. Slither, who Pyromancer was trying to kill, coming in, but I don't think this is going to be enough. Pyromancer gets the stun off, should run away, get out fairly cleanly unless something goes horribly wrong. I don't think there are any Hellborn heroes able to intercept him, and he manages to dodge this stun gust from Zephyr, uses a stun that doesn't hit Zephyr but doesn't have to because he's too far back, and he manages to escape. K coming in to stun just in case anyway, but doesn't have to in the end. So stats are still fairly up, even though there's a slight advantage towards Hellborn, which obviously should worry the Legion. But overall this is still anyone's game. I think they've both got well constructed sides with good teamfight potential, maybe slightly more on the Legion than the Hellborn, but the carry advantage for the Hellborn should mean this stays a very close game right up until the 60th minute, if it goes on that long I'd say. So now we've got anything going on. We've got Plague Rider still ambling in his jungle. Ward kept up. That's an unusual ward spot actually that Ductor's chosen to use. It's just to the left of the entrance to the Hellborn, to the Legion jungle. It gives a vision, I presume, of the bottom of the Hellborn ramp, but it's not something I've seen before. I'm guessing it's mainly defensive though, but certainly it's interesting. I'd have to ask him about that. It's a ward spot I've not seen before. Other wards are fairly typical. There's one by Rexy to give them sight of the Hellborn jungle, and one being placed by Ductor again to give them sight of the Hellborn ramp in case they want to try and gank someone, or just to be warned of someone coming up there. 3 Legion players bottom though. They might be looking to pick up a kill on Overpower, perhaps to check him before he gets his Icon of the Goddess, which should be in about 400 gold or 2 minutes time, the way he's been farming. So carrying on with the cast, obviously, we can't see any particular action at the moment. There's 3 Legion heroes by the bottom room, so obviously potential if Chip has caught out here, but Overpower's obviously been playing a very solid game so far.